But if you want to lower taxes, and if you want the government to quit printing the money to come up with shortfall and cause all the inflation, you have to change policy. The inflation tax is a tax that nobody talks about. We live way beyond our means with a foreign policy we can't afford and an entitlement system that we have encouraged. We print money for it, the value of the money goes down, and poor people pay higher prices. That is a tax.
We spend so much money now that we have to borrow nearly $3 billion a day from foreigners to take care of our consumption. That we can't afford that. We can't afford it in the government. We can't afford it as a nation. So tax reform should come, but spending cuts have to come by changing our attitude, what government ought to be doing for us.
Socialism was doomed to fail. Communism, like all socialism, failed intellectually and failed practically. And so too will the welfare, warfare state fail. The love of liberty will not die.
I'm a fiscal conservative, and I have a record for that. Others talk about it. Everybody's a fiscal conservative when they're running in the Republican primary. And, you know, when the young people come and join the campaign, and others, when they hear about my candidacy, it would go to the website and say, and then look at the platform and see the consistency of it. But many of them then would go to the congressional website and say, wow, he even voted that way. And he even voted that way even if he had to vote by himself.
This whole idea that we're supposed to sacrifice liberty for security, we were advised against that. Don't we remember that when you sacrifice liberty for security, you lose both? That's what's happening in this country today. We have a national ID card on our doorsteps. It's being implemented right now. We have FISA courts. We have warrantless searches. We've lost habeas corpus. We've had secret prisons around the world, and we have torture going on. That's un-American, and we need to use the power of the presidency to get it back in order to take care of us and protect this country and our liberty.
Why are we determined to follow a foreign policy of empire building and preemption which is unbecoming of a constitutional republic?
We should not go to war without a declaration. We should not go to war when it's an aggressive war. This is an aggressive invasion.
They attack us because we've been over there. We've been bombing Iraq for 10 years. We've been in the Middle East. What would we say here if China was doing this in our country or in the Gulf of Mexico? We would be objecting. We need to look at what we do from the perspective of what would happen if somebody else did it to us. Stay out of entangling alliances. Be friends with countries. Negotiate and talk with them and trade with them. Just think of the tremendous improvement relationships with Vietnam.
This is just war propaganda, continued war propaganda, preparing this nation to go to war and spread this war not only in Iraq but into Iran unconstitutionally. It is a road to disaster. Absolutely. This idea of going and talking to attorneys totally baffles me. Why don't we just open up the Constitution and read it? You're not allowed to go to war without a declaration of war.
The Republicans put in the Department of Homeland Security. It's a monstrous type of bureaucracy. We were spending $40 billion on security prior to 9/11. If you think we can continue to police the world and spend hundreds of billions of dollars overseas and spend hundreds of billions of dollars running a welfare state, an entitlement system that has accumulated $60 trillion worth of obligations.
We don't need to lose 100 men and women every month, 1,000 per year. We have a lot of goodness in this country, and we should promote it, but never through the barrel of a gun. We should do it by setting good standards, motivating people, and have them want to emulate us. But you can't enforce our goodness like the neocons preach with an armed force.